Hello, and welcome to Fundamentals of People Management, Module 3. I'm Dr. Lon Schiffbauer, and today we are talking about delegating responsibilities. In our last module, I made the case that when talking about people management, it makes sense to start with talent acquisition, because at the end of the day, an organization is just a collection of people. Well, likewise, a job, a person with a job, is really just a collection of responsibilities, authority, and accountability. So that's why it's important that we talk about how best to delegate these functions. When someone is hired, they are granted, by virtue of the job description, some level of responsibility, authority, and accountability. This applies to every member of an organization, from the janitor all the way up to the CEO. The very best people managers understand each one of these functions and how they interact such that the employee can do their job, be effective, be efficient, and most importantly, thrive in their position. So with that, let's start with responsibilities, specifically delegating responsibilities. Delegating responsibilities means assigning specific tasks, duties, or projects to individuals or teams. Managers delegate responsibility to distribute the workload more effectively and leverage individual or team skill sets, ensuring that tasks are completed on time and by those with the necessary skills. So let's take a hospital janitor for a moment. They are responsible for knowing what kind of products, what kind of chemicals to use to clean what kind of surfaces. Now, this is important because I don't know if you know, but a lot of these chemicals and products and so forth used in hospitals, they're dangerous, they're toxic, but they have to be because they're cleaning dangerous, toxic stuff. Anyway, I'm getting too specific. The point is, it's their responsibility to understand how to do this and the right way to facilitate a clean and safe environment for providers and patients. Okay, now that's responsibilities, but now let's talk about delegating authority. Delegating authority means granting individuals or teams the power and authority to make decisions and direct others as necessary to fulfill their assigned responsibilities. Now, managers will delegate authority to push decision-making down to a level where it makes the most sense. I mean, not every decision needs to be made by the CEO, vice president, director. You get the idea. This is why we delegate authority. Now, this actually does several things. First, as I alluded to before, it removes the need to escalate every single issue up to the top. Because if we had to do this, then that means that, management would be a bottleneck rather than a facilitating function. You don't want to be a bottleneck to the work of your own team. It also helps to develop your employees' critical thinking and decision-making skills. You want to develop them professionally so they can add greater and greater value to the organization. By delegating authority, you're able to help them develop these muscles. Finally, it gives employees a certain degree of autonomy, a sense that they have the authority to get things done the way things need to get done. Now, of course, this is great for making sure that business keeps moving forward efficiently. However, it also increases motivation, job satisfaction, all the things that an employee needs to really feel like they are appreciated and valued and adding value in an organization. Now, as an example, let's look at an executive administrator or an executive admin. They have the authority to manage the executive's calendar, prioritize their day, schedule travel, and function as a gatekeeper to enable their executive to focus on the most high-value needs of the day. Finally, we have delegating accountability. Delegating accountability means holding individuals or teams responsible for the outcomes of the tasks or projects they've been assigned. Now, managers delegate accountability to really convey to the individual or to the team the importance of what they are doing, the importance of the outcome. By delegating accountability, they attach consequences to the outcome. This encourages employees to take ownership of the outcome of their work and really commit themselves wholeheartedly to the work at hand. For example, a project manager is accountable for the success, the outcome of a team project. Now, yes, there are many people working on this team, but at the end of the day, the project manager is responsible for meeting milestones, resolving conflict, managing stakeholders, and delivering a successful set of outcomes. Okay, so now we understand what it means to delegate responsibilities, authority, and accountability. But now let's take a moment to understand what happens if we do this poorly. First, and I cannot overemphasize this, to be successful, an employee must have all three: responsibility, authority, and accountability. If we don't get the right mix, you're not going to get the outcome you're looking for. If an employee has the accountability and the authority, but not the responsibility, they're going to have a really hard time getting things done in the organization. Others will accuse the person of getting in the way, messing around where they don't belong, and generally causing organizational thrash. They have the authority, so they cannot be outright ignored, but their participation in the group will be resented, and many will practice passive resistance when asked to do something. On the other hand, if somebody has the responsibility and the accountability, but not the authority, they're going to be treated as something of a lame duck in the organization. Sure, they may have the title and all, but with no formal power or influence in the organization, who's going to do anything they say? On the other hand, if an employee has the responsibility and the authority, but not the accountability, well, this person may take, undue risks or may slack off altogether. Since they won't be held accountable if anything goes sideways, there's less risk should they fail. This means they may be more likely to take big swings and miss or neglect their duties completely. So you can see why it's important to really think about how we delegate responsibility, authority, and accountability. And this is going to be your job as a people manager. Now, of course, assigning responsibility, authority, and accountability presumes that the person knows what they're doing, that they know how to do their job. And so that's what we're going to be talking about in our next module, employee training and development. So I hope you'll stick around and join me for that. All right? And until we talk again, have a fantastic day.